In a lively corner of the city, where cafes spilled their chatter onto the streets and boutiques displayed their latest fashions, stood a peculiar hair salon. The shop's name, Reflection Free Beauty, was etched in elegant gold letters on the glass door. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't just the name, it was the salon's most peculiar rule: no mirrors were allowed. From the moment the salon opened, its reputation spread like wildfire. Word of mouth spoke of Amara, the enigmatic owner and stylist, whose talent seemed almost supernatural. Her work was transformative. Clients left her salon not only looking incredible, but also feeling inexplicably lighter and more confident. Yet every single one of them shared the same bewilderment. Why on earth would a hair salon of all places ban mirrors? Amara herself was a vision of intrigue. She moved with a quiet grace, her long raven-black hair cascading down her back like liquid silk. Her piercing green eyes seemed to look straight into a person's soul, and her voice was calm, almost hypnotic. Amara greeted every client with a warm smile and an air of mystery that made people feel both curious and comforted. Her soft-spoken words carried an unshakable confidence, leaving no room to question her unconventional rules. From the moment a client stepped inside, they were greeted by the unexpected. Instead of walls lined with mirrors reflecting every angle, the salon was adorned with breathtaking murals. Painted landscapes of wildflower meadows, serene lakes, and majestic mountains filled the space with vibrant colors. The ceiling featured a swirling depiction of the night sky, complete with stars that seemed to twinkle when the light hit them just right. In the center of it all was Amara, her workstation minimalist and mirrorless. Near the entrance hung a sign that read, "Trust the process. Beauty is in the experience, not the reflection." Beneath the sign sat a small desk where a receptionist greeted clients and gently reminded them of the salon's one rule: no mirrors, no photographs, no exceptions. Despite the salon's unconventional approach, it quickly became the talk of the town. Fashion bloggers, socialites, and even celebrities flocked to Reflection-Free Beauty, eager to experience the magic for themselves. The transformations were undeniable. Clients left looking stunning, their hairstyles perfectly complementing their features and exuding an effortless elegance. Yet the absence of mirrors left them disoriented. Many struggled to articulate how they felt about their new looks until they caught glimpses of themselves in passing windows or in the reflections of car doors. Then, without fail, their faces would light up with joy. The mystery surrounding the salon's mirror bans sparked endless speculation. Was it a clever marketing gimmick? A way to stand out in a competitive industry? Or was there something more sinister at play? Some clients swore they had caught fleeting reflections in unexpected places, a shimmer on the polished floorboards or a glint in the surface of Amara's scissors. Others dismissed the rule as eccentric but harmless, chalking it up to Amara's creative philosophy. But there were whispers, too, of something darker. Some claimed the rule stemmed from an incident in Amara's past, a tragedy that had left her with an aversion to mirrors. Rumors circulated that Amara's talent wasn't entirely natural, that she possessed an uncanny ability to see not just a person's outer beauty but their inner essence. It was said that mirrors revealed things she would rather keep hidden. Amara, for her part, never addressed the speculation. She operated her salon with quiet efficiency, focusing on her craft and treating each client as if they were her only priority. Her hands moved with a precision that bordered on magical, as if she could feel the shape and texture of beauty itself. She listened attentively as clients described their desired looks, offering subtle suggestions that always proved to be exactly what they needed. In her care, people felt seen in a way they never had before. One day, a new client named Mira entered the salon. Mira was a young woman with a vibrant personality but a deep insecurity about her appearance. She had heard about reflection-free beauty from a friend and decided to give it a try, despite her reservations about the lack of mirrors. As Mira sat in the chair, she glanced around nervously, her hands gripping the armrests. "Are you sure about the no mirrors thing?" she asked, her voice tinged with doubt. "I mean, how will I know if I like it?" Amara smiled, her green eyes steady and reassuring. "You'll know," she said simply. Trust me. Something in Amara's tone eased Myra's anxiety. As Amara worked, Mira found herself relaxing, lulled by the rhythmic snip of scissors and the soothing hum of the salon's background music. She spoke about her struggles with self-image, and Amara listened without judgment, offering gentle words of encouragement. When Amara finished, she stepped back, placing her hands lightly on Myra's shoulders. "All done," she said. "What do you think?" Mira hesitated, her hands instinctively reaching for a mirror that wasn't there. I don't know," she admitted. "I can't see it." Amara guided Mira to the door, where the sunlight spilled in, creating a natural frame around her. "You don't need a mirror to feel beautiful," Amara said softly. "It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you smile." As Mira stepped outside, she caught her reflection in a nearby shop window. Her breath caught in her throat. Her hair was perfect, soft waves framing her face, the color rich and vibrant. But what truly stunned her was the person looking back at her. For the first time in years, she saw someone confident, radiant, and unapologetically herself. Mira wasn't the only one to leave the salon with such an experience. Time and time again, clients found themselves transformed, not just physically but emotionally. The absence of mirrors forced them to rely on how they felt rather than how they looked, and in doing so, they discovered a deeper sense of self-assurance. Amara's salon became a sanctuary for those seeking more than just a haircut. It was a place where beauty was redefined, where people learned to trust their instincts and embrace their unique essence. Yet the mystery of the mirror ban remained. What was Amara hiding? And why did her green eyes seem to reflect more than just light? As the salon's reputation grew, so did the whispers. Clients couldn't stop raving about the transformative experiences they had at Reflection-Free Beauty, but the lack of mirrors continued to fuel speculation. Conversations in coffee shops, online forums, and even beauty expos often circled back to one question: why would a hair salon ban mirrors? Rumors took on a life of their own, each more fantastical than the last. Some claimed Amara was hiding scars on her own face and avoided mirrors out of shame. Others suggested that mirrors in the salon might reveal something supernatural, an alternate reality, or even the true essence of a person. The most persistent story, however, was that Amara had been cursed. "She's hiding something," whispered a stylist from a neighboring salon during a coffee break with friends. "Something about mirrors terrifies her. I heard that years ago, a mirror shattered during one of her appointments, and something awful happened." "What kind of awful?" asked another, leaning in with wide eyes. "They say the client screamed like she'd seen something horrifying," the first stylist continued, lowering her voice. "And after that, Amara removed every mirror from the salon. Whatever it was, she's been running from it ever since." Despite the swirling rumors, Amara maintained her composure. She never addressed the speculations, nor did she show any sign that the stories bothered her. Clients who asked about the mirror ban were met with the same calm explanation: trust the process. Beauty isn't about reflection. It's about how you feel. Yet there were those who couldn't let the mystery rest. Bloggers and influencers visited the salon under the guise of seeking a haircut, secretly hoping to uncover the truth. One beauty vlogger, Alyssa Monroe, made it her mission to investigate. She booked an appointment, concealed a tiny mirror in her bag, and entered the salon with a mix of excitement and trepidation. When Amara greeted her, Alyssa felt an odd sense of calm wash over her. Despite her resolve to expose the mystery, she found herself captivated by Amara's soothing presence and the tranquil ambience of the salon. As Amara worked her magic, Alyssa began to relax, forgetting about her hidden mirror, until she reached for her bag. The moment Alyssa retrieved the mirror, the atmosphere in the salon shifted. The soft hum of conversation and music seemed to dull, and Amara's movements became noticeably slower. Alyssa glanced at her reflection, eager to catch a glimpse of her new look, but what she saw made her drop the mirror with a gasp. Her reflection wasn't just her own, it was distorted, twisted, as if it carried the weight of every insecurity and fear she had ever felt. Her hair appeared wild and unkempt, her face shadowed and hollow. Alyssa's heart pounded as she stumbled back, unable to tear her gaze away from the cracked surface of the mirror on the floor. Amara's voice broke through the haze, calm but firm. "I told you," she said, crouching to pick up the shattered mirror. "Trust the process." Alyssa left the salon shaken, unsure of what she had experienced. She didn't post about it online, fearing ridicule or disbelief, but the encounter only added fuel to the fire. The story spread in whispers, each retelling more exaggerated than the last. "She carries a curse," people began to say. "Mirrors reveal something about her, or her clients, that isn't meant to be seen." One regular client, Nadine, decided to confront Amara directly during an appointment. Nadine had been coming to the salon for months and trusted Amara implicitly, but her curiosity about the mirror ban had grown unbearable. "Amara," Nadine asked as Amara trimmed her hair, "why don't you allow mirrors here? I've heard so many stories, but none of them make sense." Amara paused, her scissors stilling for a moment. She met Nadine's eyes in the reflection-free space of the room. "What do you think mirrors show?" she asked, her voice calm. "Your reflection, I guess," Nadine replied, confused by the question. Amara tilted her head slightly. "Not just your reflection. Mirrors show the truth, or at least a version of it. But not everyone is ready to see what's truly there." Nadine frowned, her curiosity deepening. "What does that mean?" "It means," Amara said quietly, returning to her work, "that sometimes our reflection shows us things we hide even from ourselves. Here, I want my clients to feel beautiful without the noise of those hidden truths. That's why I don't use mirrors. It's not about what you see, it's about what you feel." Nadine didn't press further, sensing that Amara's answer, while cryptic, was final. But as she left the salon that day, Nadine couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story, something Amara wasn't saying. The whispers and speculation grew louder over time, but Amara remained steadfast in her resolve. The absence of mirrors wasn't just a rule, it was a safeguard, a way to protect her clients and herself from the truths that reflections revealed. What those truths were, and why they mattered so much to Amara, remained a mystery, one that no client, no matter how curious, could fully uncover. The intrigue surrounding Amara's mirrorless salon continued to swirl, but the truth behind her aversion to mirrors remained buried in her past, a past she rarely spoke of. Few knew the story, and those who did were sworn to silence. However, one fateful encounter forced Amara to confront the memories she had worked so hard to suppress. Years before she opened Reflection-Free Beauty, Amara had been a rising star in the world of hairstyling. Her first salon, Mirrored Elegance, was a luxurious space adorned with ornate mirrors on every wall. It was her pride and joy, a place where she honed her craft and gained a loyal clientele. But it was also the setting of an event that changed her life forever. The incident happened late one evening as Amara was finishing a private appointment with a high-profile client named Isabel Carrington, a socialite known for her beauty and sharp wit. Isabel had requested an elaborate hairstyle for a gala, and Amara had agreed to stay after hours to accommodate her. As Amara worked, Isabel chatted animatedly, her laughter echoing in the quiet salon. But as the styling session progressed, Isabel's tone shifted. She began to speak of her insecurities, her fear of aging, her jealousy of younger women, her doubts about her husband's fidelity. Amara listened quietly, offering reassurances where she could. But Isabel's mood grew darker. When Amara finally finished, she turned Isabel's chair toward the largest mirror in the salon. "What do you think?" Amara asked, expecting the usual gasp of delight. Instead, Isabel froze. Her face went pale, her eyes widening in horror. What is this?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Amara frowned, stepping closer. "Is something wrong?" Isabel pointed at the mirror, her hand shaking. "That's not me," she said, her voice breaking. Amara turned to the mirror, confused. She saw Isabel's reflection perfectly, her hair styled flawlessly. But then something shifted. The mirror seemed to ripple, like water disturbed by a stone. Isabel's reflection began to change, her features warping into something grotesque, a face twisted with anger and resentment, eyes filled with fear and pain. Amara staggered back, her heart pounding. She looked at Isabel, who was now sobbing, her hands covering her face. "Make it stop!" Isabel cried. "Make it stop!" Panicked, Amara grabbed a nearby cloth and threw it over the mirror, breaking the connection. The room fell silent except for Isabel's quiet sobs. Amara rushed to her side, her hands trembling. "I don't know what happened," she said, her voice shaky. "Are you all right?" Isabel nodded weakly, her body trembling. "I saw everything," she whispered. "Every fear, every regret, every ugly thought I've ever had. It was all there, staring back at me." The incident left Amara shaken to her core. She closed the salon for several days, trying to make sense of what had happened. She examined every mirror in the building, searching for cracks, distortions, or signs of tampering, but found nothing unusual. Yet, deep down, she knew the truth wasn't in the mirrors themselves. It was in her. Amara had always possessed an uncanny ability to understand people, to see beyond their words and into the essence of who they were. She thought it was a gift that made her a better stylist, allowing her to create looks that truly suited her clients. But that night, she realized her gift came with a darker side. Somehow, she had awakened something in Isabel, something the mirror had reflected back in raw, unfiltered form. Word of the incident spread, though not the full truth. Clients whispered about Isabel's breakdown, speculating that the pressure of her socialite lifestyle had finally taken its toll. But Amara knew better. She knew the mirrors in her salon had become dangerous, not because of what they showed, but because of what they revealed. Unwilling to risk another incident, Amara closed Mirrored Elegance permanently. She retreated from the public eye, spending months in isolation as she wrestled with her guilt and fear. Was her gift a blessing or a curse? Could she ever return to hairstyling without endangering others? Amara's turning point came during a visit to a remote monastery, where she sought guidance from a wise elder known for his understanding of the human spirit. She explained her experience, her voice heavy with doubt and regret. The elder listened patiently, then said, "Mirrors are tools, nothing more. They reflect what is there, but they do not create it. What you saw that night was not your fault. It was the truth your client carried within herself. Your gift merely opened a window. But why does it happen?" Amara asked, desperate for answers. "Because your gift is rare," the elder replied. "You see people as they truly are, beyond their masks. Most people are not ready to face that truth. It is too raw, too unfiltered. What should I do?" Amara whispered, "Use your gift wisely," the elder said. "Help people see their beauty, their potential, without forcing them to confront what they are not ready to see. Perhaps, for now, that means no mirrors." With renewed purpose, Amara returned to the city and opened Reflection-Free Beauty. The salon was a sanctuary, a place where her clients could experience transformation without the distraction of their own reflections. She used her gift to highlight their strengths, creating styles that brought out their inner confidence. And she kept the mirrors out, knowing that some truths were best revealed gradually. Years after Amara opened Reflection-Free Beauty, the salon continued to flourish as a haven for those seeking transformation beyond the surface. Amara's methods, though unconventional, had earned her a reputation for creating not just beautiful hairstyles, but profound emotional shifts in her clients. Yet despite her success, she remained cautious, her past always lingering in the back of her mind. She had carefully avoided situations that might reignite the strange power of mirrors, until the day a particularly unusual client walked through her door. It was a quiet afternoon when Evelyn Grace, a well-known actress, stepped into the salon. Amara recognized her immediately. Evelyn was a household name, beloved for her beauty and talent, but the woman standing before Amara looked far removed from the glamorous star on magazine covers. Her eyes were shadowed with fatigue, her shoulders slumped, and her smile seemed forced. "Welcome to Reflection-Free Beauty," Amara said warmly, masking her surprise. "How can I help you today?" Evelyn removed her sunglasses, revealing eyes filled with uncertainty. "I heard about your salon," she said softly. "Everyone says you're the best, that you make people feel like themselves again." Amara nodded, gesturing for Evelyn to take a seat. That's the goal, she replied. What are you looking for? Evelyn hesitated, glancing around the salon. I don't know, she admitted. I need something to change. I need to feel different. As Amara worked, Evelyn opened up about the pressures of her life. She spoke of the relentless scrutiny of the public eye, the exhaustion of maintaining a perfect image, and the toll it had taken on her sense of self. I don't even know who I am anymore, she confessed, her voice breaking. I look in the mirror, and all I see is what other people expect me to be. Amara listened intently, her hands moving with practiced precision. Sometimes, she said gently, it helps to step away from the mirror, to stop seeing yourself through other people's eyes and start feeling who you are inside. Evelyn looked at her, her eyes glistening. Is that why you don't have mirrors here? She asked. Amara smiled faintly. Yes, mirrors can be useful, but they can also lie. They show us what we expect to see, not always what's true. As the session continued, Amara felt a familiar energy in the air, a subtle, tingling sensation that she hadn't experienced in years. She focused on Evelyn's hair, pouring her concentration into the work, but she couldn't ignore the growing intensity. When she finished, she placed her hands lightly on Evelyn's shoulders, signaling that the transformation was complete. All done, Amara said, her voice steady despite the unease stirring within her. How do you feel? Evelyn touched her hair, her expression thoughtful. It feels amazing, she said, though her tone suggested she wasn't entirely convinced. But I wish I could see it. Amara hesitated, her heart racing. She had always avoided mirrors in her salon, knowing the risks they carried. But something about Evelyn's vulnerability made her pause. She reached into a drawer and retrieved a small hand mirror, holding it out carefully. I don't usually do this, Amara said, her voice firm. But if you're ready to see yourself, I'll show you. Evelyn took the mirror, her hands trembling slightly. As she lifted it to her face, Amara held her breath, bracing herself for what might come. At first, Evelyn's reflection was perfectly normal. Her hair was stunning, a cascade of soft waves that framed her face beautifully. But then, just as Amara feared, the mirror began to ripple. The reflection shifted, revealing not just Evelyn's outer beauty but the insecurities and fears she carried deep within. Evelyn gasped, dropping the mirror onto the counter. Her reflection in the polished surface stared back at her, distorted and raw, her eyes filled with sadness and doubt. What is that? Evelyn whispered, her voice trembling. Amara stepped forward, placing a reassuring hand on Evelyn's shoulder. It's not you, she said gently. It's what you've been holding on to. The things you've hidden, even from yourself. Evelyn's breathing was shallow, her hands gripping the counter. Why would I see that? Why now? Because you're ready, Amara said softly. You came here to change, Evelyn. Sometimes, change means confronting the parts of ourselves we're afraid to face. Evelyn nodded slowly, tears streaming down her cheeks. She looked at Amara, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and gratitude. What do I do now? You let it go, Amara said simply. Stop carrying the weight of other people's expectations. Be the person you want to be, not the person they tell you to be. Evelyn wiped her tears, her expression softening. It's so hard. I know, Amara said, her voice filled with understanding. But you're stronger than you think. When Evelyn left the salon that day, she looked radiant, not just because of her hair, but because of the lightness in her step and the newfound confidence in her gaze. Amara watched her go, a small smile playing on her lips. She had taken a risk by letting Evelyn use the mirror, but she knew it had been the right choice. Sometimes, the truth was necessary for transformation. This encounter marked a turning point for Amara. She realized that while mirrors could reveal difficult truths, they also held the potential for healing. From that day forward, she began to approach her work with a new perspective, balancing the need to protect her clients with the courage to help them face their truths when they were ready. Evelyn Grace's transformative experience at Reflection Free Beauty became the catalyst for a wave of newfound interest in Amara's salon. The actress, once reclusive and overwhelmed by the pressures of fame, returned to the public eye with a renewed sense of purpose and authenticity. She spoke openly about her time at the salon, describing it as a place where she rediscovered herself, not just her outward beauty but her inner strength. "It's not about what you look like," Evelyn said during an interview that went viral. "It's about how you feel when you walk out. Amara doesn't just style your hair, she touches your soul." The interview sparked a surge in bookings. Everyone from busy mothers to high-powered executives and even celebrities sought out Amara, eager to experience the magic of her salon. The waitlist stretched for months, and the small, unassuming shop became the subject of articles, blogs, and social media posts. Yet, despite the growing attention, Amara remained grounded, keeping her focus on her clients and her mission. One of the new clients, Jared Whitmore, was a tech entrepreneur who prided himself on rationality and logic. He arrived at the salon skeptical of its reputation. "I don't see how a haircut can change your life," he said as he sat in Amara's chair. Amara smiled softly. "It's not the haircut that changes your life," she replied, draping a cape over his shoulders. "It's how you see yourself afterward." Jared scoffed but allowed her to work. As Amara trimmed and styled his hair, she engaged him in quiet conversation, asking about his work, his passions, and the challenges he faced. Jared found himself opening up more than he expected, revealing struggles with imposter syndrome and the pressure to maintain his company's success. When Amara finished, she stepped back and said, "You're ready to lead, not because you have to, but because you've earned it. Believe in yourself." Jared left the salon with a fresh look and an even fresher perspective. Days later, he posted a heartfelt message online, crediting Amara for giving him the confidence to tackle his fears head-on. His post garnered thousands of likes and shares, further cementing Amara's reputation as more than just a hairstylist. As the salon's influence grew, Amara began receiving invitations to speak at industry events and wellness seminars. She hesitated at first, preferring to stay behind the scenes, but she eventually accepted an invitation to a Women in Business conference. Her talk, titled "The Reflection Within, Finding Beauty Beyond the Mirror," resonated deeply with the audience. "I started this salon because I wanted people to see themselves differently," Amara said during her speech. "We spend so much time judging our reflections that we forget who we are beneath the surface. My goal is to help people reconnect with their inner beauty, the kind that no mirror can show." The audience erupted in applause, and Amara left the stage feeling both empowered and humbled. Her message had struck a chord, reminding her that her work wasn't just about hairstyling, it was about healing. With her growing platform, Amara launched initiatives to expand the salon's impact. She partnered with local charities to offer free haircuts and self-care workshops for underserved communities. She also began training apprentices, teaching them not only the technical aspects of hairstyling, but also the importance of empathy and connection. One apprentice, Sophia, stood out for her natural talent and curiosity. "Why don't we use mirrors?" Sophia asked one evening as they cleaned up after a busy day. Amara paused, considering her answer. "Mirrors can be powerful tools," she said, "but they can also be distractions. When people look in a mirror, they often focus on what they don't like about themselves. Here, I want them to feel beautiful without needing validation from a reflection." Sophia nodded thoughtfully. "Do you think we'll ever bring mirrors back?" "Maybe," Amara said with a small smile, "but only when people are ready to see themselves for who they truly are." The salon's growing influence also brought challenges. As its fame spread, skeptics emerged, accusing Amara of using psychological manipulation to create her transformations. Some even claimed her methods were based on tricks or illusions. Amara faced the criticism with grace, staying true to her philosophy and letting her work speak for itself. "I'm not here to convince anyone," she told a reporter during an interview. "I'm here to help those who are ready to embrace change. The rest will find their way in their own time." Despite the growing demands on her time, Amara remained deeply involved in her salon. She continued to work with clients personally, finding joy in the intimate, transformative moments that had defined her career. Each new face brought a new story, a new challenge, and a new opportunity to make a difference. Her clients often left notes and letters expressing their gratitude for the way she had changed their lives. One letter in particular stood out. "Dear Amara, when I came to your salon, I was broken, tired of hiding behind masks and pretending to be okay. You showed me a side of myself I hadn't seen in years, and for that, I'll always be grateful. Thank you for reminding me that true beauty starts from within." Amara kept the letter in her drawer, a quiet reminder of why she did what she did. As the salon grew from a local treasure to an international phenomenon, Amara remained true to her vision. Reflection-free beauty was more than a salon. It was a movement, a reminder that beauty wasn't about what you saw in the mirror, but what you felt in your heart. As reflection-free beauty grew in fame and influence, Amara remained grounded in her mission. But the spotlight brought with it unforeseen challenges. Skeptics, media attention, and even rival salons sought to discredit her, eager to prove that her methods were nothing more than smoke and mirrors, literally and figuratively. The whispers that had once stayed within the salon's walls now spilled into public forums, and Amara found herself at the center of a heated debate about authenticity, self-image, and the power of perception. The most vocal critic was Derek Miles, a well-known beauty industry magnate whose chain of luxury salons catered to the rich and famous. Derek dismissed Amara's methods as gimmicky theatrics and accused her of exploiting her clients' emotions for profit. He went so far as to challenge her to a live televised event, where she would be required to style a client in front of mirrors and a panel of judges. "It's easy to hide behind mystique," Derek declared during an interview. "Let's see if she can deliver the same results without the theatrics." Amara initially ignored the provocation, but the pressure from the media and her growing clientele made it impossible to avoid. Many of her clients urged her to decline, worried about the toll it would take on her and her salon's reputation. But Amara saw an opportunity not to prove Derek wrong, but to reaffirm her belief in her work. "Sometimes the biggest challenges are the ones that matter most," she told her team. "If I can help even one person see their true beauty in this process, it'll be worth it." The event was held in a grand auditorium, with cameras capturing every angle. The stage was set with 2 styling stations, one for Derek and one for Amara. Each stylist was assigned a client chosen at random from the audience, and they had 1 hour to transform their look. The twist? Both stations were equipped with mirrors, forcing Amara to work against the very principle her salon was founded on. As Amara approached her station, she caught sight of her client, a nervous young woman named Elena. Elena's hunched shoulders and downcast eyes spoke volumes about her lack of confidence. "I'm not used to being the center of attention," Elena admitted, her voice barely audible. Amara knelt beside her, placing a reassuring hand on her arm. "You're not here to impress anyone," she said gently. "You're here to see the beauty that's always been within you." The challenge began, and the room buzzed with activity. Derek worked with flair and precision, narrating his process for the cameras and wowing the audience with his charm. Amara, in contrast, worked quietly, focusing entirely on Elena. She kept the mirror covered with a cloth, using her intuition and skill to guide her. As she worked, Amara spoke to Elena in soothing tones, asking about her dreams, her fears, and what made her feel most like herself. Elena gradually relaxed, her answers becoming more candid as the minutes ticked by. Amara's hands moved with practiced ease, shaping Elena's hair into soft, cascading waves that framed her face perfectly. When the hour ended, Derek unveiled his client's transformation with a flourish, drawing cheers from the audience. His client looked stunning, her sleek hairstyle exuding glamour and sophistication. Then it was Amara's turn. She removed the cloth from the mirror, revealing Elena's reflection for the first time. Elena gasped, her eyes widening as she took in her transformation. But what struck the audience wasn't just her outward appearance. It was the look of pure joy and self-recognition on her face. "I look beautiful," Elena whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You've always been beautiful," Amara said softly. "Now you can see it." The judges deliberated, and though Derek's technical skill was undeniable, the emotional impact of Amara's work was impossible to ignore. When the winner was announced, it was Amara's name that echoed through the auditorium. Derek, visibly frustrated, approached Amara after the event. "I don't know how you do it," he admitted grudgingly. "But whatever it is, it's more than just hair." Amara smiled, her green eyes steady. "It's about seeing people for who they truly are, Derek," she said. "Not just on the outside, but on the inside, too." The event solidified Amara's reputation as a transformative force in the beauty industry. But for Amara, the true victory wasn't the trophy or the applause, it was the look on Elena's face and the knowledge that she had helped someone see their worth. The televised event had elevated reflection-free beauty to a new level of prominence. Amara's victory over Derek Miles wasn't just a win for her salon. It was a powerful statement about redefining beauty standards and focusing on inner transformation. Her story inspired millions, and her work became a beacon for those seeking more than just a superficial makeover. Despite her growing fame, Amara remained committed to her original vision. She continued to personally style clients at her salon, taking time to connect with each one and help them rediscover their confidence. Her apprentices, now fully trained in her philosophy and techniques, carried her message far and wide, opening sister salons that adhered to the same principles of trust, transformation, and reflection-free beauty. One day, Amara received a letter that touched her deeply. It was from Elena, the young woman she had styled during the televised event. Elena wrote about how the experience had changed her life, giving her the confidence to pursue dreams she had long buried. "Dear Amara, you didn't just change the way I look, you changed the way I see myself. For years, I let my insecurities hold me back, but you showed me that I'm more than the things I used to focus on in the mirror. Because of you, I've started a new chapter in my life, and for the first time, I feel like I'm truly living. Thank you for giving me that gift." Amara read the letter several times, her heart swelling with gratitude. It was moments like these that reminded her why she had started her salon in the first place. As Amara's influence grew, so did her impact on the beauty industry. She was invited to speak at conferences and seminars around the world, where she shared her journey and the philosophy behind her work. Her message resonated deeply. True beauty isn't about perfection. It's about connection, connecting with yourself and embracing who you are. Amara also launched a foundation that provided free hairstyling services and self-confidence workshops to underprivileged communities. She partnered with schools, shelters, and community centers, helping people of all ages and backgrounds see their own worth. The foundation became one of her proudest achievements, a tangible way to give back and extend her legacy. One evening, as Amara sat in her salon after hours, reflecting on the incredible journey her life had taken, she was joined by Sophia, her first apprentice and now the manager of a thriving sister salon. "You've built something incredible," Sophia said, her voice filled with admiration. "Do you ever think about how far you've come?" Amara smiled, her green eyes thoughtful. "Sometimes," she admitted, "but it's never really been about me. It's about the people we've helped, the lives we've touched. That's what matters." Sophia nodded, her expression serious. "What you've created is more than a salon. It's a movement. You've changed the way people see themselves." Amara's smile widened. "If I've done that, then it's all been worth it." Years later, as Amara looked out at the vibrant community her work had inspired, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Her salon had become more than just a place for hairstyling. It was a sanctuary, a symbol of transformation and self-acceptance. Clients and staff alike carried her message into the world, proving that beauty wasn't about what you saw in the mirror, but how you felt in your heart. In time, Amara passed the torch to her apprentices, confident that they would carry on her legacy with the same passion and integrity she had always upheld. Though she stepped away from the day-to-day operations of the salon, she remained a guiding presence, continuing to inspire and mentor others. One quiet afternoon, as Amara strolled through the garden outside her home, she paused by a small reflecting pool. For years, she had avoided mirrors, wary of the truths they revealed. But now, as she gazed at her reflection in the water, she felt nothing but peace. The woman staring back at her wasn't just a hairstylist or a business owner. She was someone who had turned her gift into a force for good, someone who had helped countless others see the beauty within themselves. And for the first time in a long time, Amara saw her own reflection, not as a burden, but as a testament to the life she had built. With a soft smile, she whispered, "Thank you," and walked away, knowing her legacy would live on in every life she had touched.